shit!
Hello everyone, Poop Tickler here. Today we're going to be talking about something on the horizon. Something big. Something dark and furry and smells like old wood. In case you haven't been paying attention in recent years, Valve has actually touched the Half-Life series for once. It only took a decade, and we've still yet to get Half-Life 3, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Half-Life 1 and 2 both received major updates that gave them quality of life improvements we really didn't expect, such as fixing lighting, textures, etc. Rather than outsourcing the game to some indie company to implement some over-the-top bullshit realism graphics into the game, yeah, I'm talking about you, GTA Definitive Edition. Valve said, fuck it, we'll make it beautiful, and even dug up some ancient beta content as a cherry on top. Yes, this script is that old, but it proves Valve does care, even if it's just a tiny bit. The question remains though, will Left 4 Dead get the same treatment? Well, I didn't make this video to speculate, I made this video because I'm angry. Once you play this game for a while, the flaws start to become apparent. Sure, an easy fix would be to just stop playing, take a breather, go out and touch some grass, because asking for updates for this game doesn't matter because it doesn't make Valve much money to begin with. But that's stupid. I'd rather complain, so let's dive in. Fix the matchmaking mechanics / UI. I'll be honest with you. Left 4 Dead's matchmaker is hands down the worst thing I've ever had the displeasure of experiencing. If you live in the eastern United States, there's just no finding a good server. There just isn't. Let me ask you something. You start up Left 4 Dead, what's the first thing you want to do? You'd probably want to click on Quick Match to join a game, right? And you'd probably want an official server only, because why on earth would you want to play some modded garbage? Well, there's two problems with this button. First off, Quick Match doesn't care about difficulty. There's an equal chance you join a game on either easy or expert, which is stupid. Second, it doesn't find official servers. Despite a button saying official servers only, it does not actually look for official servers only. What in the hell is the point of this button? It's dysfunctional. Valve, what are you doing, man? In the server list, you have only 3 options. The campaign, the difficulty, and a lobby/active game filter. There's no telling which game is where in the campaign, so you might be joining a finale or whatever. That's stupid. If you go to the group servers here, it shows the server names as well as the ping of each server. If you go to the friends servers here, it shows the individual maps. Why in the hell does this not appear in the server list? Why are these features divided? There's so much inconsistency in this UI, it's hard to believe it's a product by Valve. Did nobody see any fault in this? Am I the only one who sits down and notices this? I'd really prefer if they just made the server finder a hierarchy, like, here's how many games for No Mercy. You click one of them and then it expands and it shows each available server for that campaign, what map it's on, the ping, etc. If you join a public game from the usual list, there's no way of telling what server or map you're joining. It could be a community server. It could be a server hosted locally on someone's PC. It could be a server that's loaded up with mods and changes the gameplay entirely. It could be a server on the other side of the world. It could be on the finale. It could be all of those things at once. It's so rare to find a good server in this game, and I don't understand how almost nobody is complaining about this. Maybe it's more exclusive to me because I'm something of a tryhard and care a bit too much about latency and reaction. The first alternative is the most obvious. Make your own lobby. You see, I would do that if there were any servers available around me to begin with. When you make a lobby in Left 4 Dead, you're going to want to set this command dedicated search max ping to a value below 60, or else the game thinks literally anything goes. Like, hey, I know you live here, but there's this empty server on the other side of the world, and by the way, this command doesn't work when joining games in progress, so that's cool. After setting this command, you then have to pray there's a server available with a latency less than 60. Almost impossible for me despite the fact that I live on the East Coast, which consists of none other than the most populated city in the United States, which is fucking New York City! It's interesting because when I play TF2, I can get a server in Los Angeles that's still below 70 ping, which is playable enough for me. In Left 4 Dead, the alternative servers which aren't in the East include West and Southwest, with 100 and 120 ping respectively. Valve's a small company, I understand. Supporting more servers must be expensive, but Jesus Christ. The second alternative is this. Use the old source browser. I see this advice constantly posted on the forums. Believe me when I say it is the most retarded way you could find a server. First off, it doesn't show you the difficulty of the game you're joining. Second, it doesn't filter friends-only lobbies, so you're likely going to be kicked the moment you join a game. And get this, just recently I tried to do it just to get an empty server, right? Here, I'll show you the footage. Spawned in with an SMG with 999 ammo. As soon as I walk out of the spawn area, a tank spawns immediately. This literally never happens on the first map of this particular campaign. Unless you die on the first map of No Mercy, then you get a random tank spawn. There's a fun fact of the day for you. I kill the first tank, which was strangely easy. Then another tank instantly spawns. Turns out I joined a tank run mutation lobby, which was marked literally nowhere but the loading screen as I reviewed this footage. But you get the gist. Don't use the legacy source browser, man. That shit fucking sucks. It upsets me because I see so many in the forums suggesting this option. Do you even practice what you preach, brother? No wonder people complain about getting kicked for no reason so often. Anyways, I swear, Valve actually concocted the most perfectly frustrating matchmaker imaginable. Between this and Team Fortress, they really should just outsource the matchmaking jobs to someone else because this is embarrassing. Also, did someone say something about hosting locally? No, I'm not hosting locally. Nobody likes playing locally hosted. Next question. Fix the bots. So let's just assume we've created our own lobby, right? God, it's been a long, arduous journey, but we finally did it. We finally found a server in our region. Now, as we wait for people to join, there's another thing we need to worry about. The bots are garbage, which makes sense because you don't want them to be better than the average player. But there are some things which honestly makes me want to down them with a shotgun and Molotov their corpse, because honestly a guy who just picked up first-person shooters for the first time would probably be a better alternative.
Reloading.
No possible way. Yeah.
That witch ain't gonna sit still much longer.
The bot's retarded.
This stupid camera flinch happens every time the bots try to shoot through you. Why? Why must the player be punished because the bot picked a retarded position behind you? The amount of times I could have saved a teammate from taking damage only to be thwarted because of this goddamn camera flinch mechanic. I hope whoever implemented this feature is forever cursed with motion sickness and an imprecise mouse pointer. Seriously, dick move. I don't understand why the bots are so allergic to melee weapons. Literally the microsecond you go idle, the bot decides it's time to abandon your horde-raising katana for a pistol. Just why? Which leads me to my next point, just very questionable tactical choices overall. You could almost convince me Valve programmed these bots with their personalities in mind. In many situations, Coach ends up making godlike plays, sniping your kills, while Ellis is the dumbest idiot imaginable. Ellis and Zoe, these two are a match made in heaven. For some reason, they both think pairing sniper rifles and pistols is the way to go, and it makes them utterly useless in horde situations. Good lord, especially if they pick up those god-awful CSS snipers. Can't tell you the amount of times I've had to look back and see Ellis just screaming in pain because he's entirely incapable of getting 5 commons off of him. If you get pinned by a special infected and only Ellis or Zoe's around, you might as well accept death at that point.
Hands up! No! No! Hunter's on Bill!
The bots have to be babysat, some more than others. Many people, understandably, don't have it in them to do such a thing. Consequently, this leads to situations where people who join the game are left with a character who's struggling at 5 health and doesn't even have a fucking primary weapon at all.
course, the bot doesn't even bother to grab a fucking primary.
Okay, have you noticed a pattern here? Why do the bots have a fetish for the fucking pistols so goddamn much? Pick up a goddamn melee for once in your fucking life. Why aren't they allowed to use melee? Last but not least, the way bots handle environment hazards is either lazy or downright non-existent. As with the rest of their intelligence, in all honesty.
You all right?
Okay.
Yeah, you're back in business.
They don't avoid fire until after they've touched it, and even that barely works half the time. They hardly avoid tanks and witches, even more so when someone's been incapacitated. It's like a domino effect. When one bot gets encapped by a tank, the rest of them fall shortly afterwards. The strategy to have them avoid spit or acid? Have them find a place to stand and then completely shut down their AI. Man, you can really tell Left 4 Dead 2 came only a year later. Let's move on from the bots. I'm tired. I'm so tired of their shenanigans. The next one is improve reliability of shove animations. Shoving is inconsistent. If you've watched my Left 4 Dead 2 compilations, which you probably haven't, because the only attention this channel usually gets is a one-hit wonder thanks to the algorithm, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, I've documented this discrepancy plenty of times. Watch this. One would think hitting mouse 2 means whatever zombie standing in front of you gets shoved, right? That's only true 90% of the time. The other 10%, zombies are entirely immune to it. The game just randomly decides to give you a middle finger. Finger my crack or crack my finger. You decide. In general, the hitboxes and interpolation in this game is absolutely laughable. The game couldn't have any worse hitboxes even if it tried. The issue I mentioned earlier with shoving? It isn't exclusive to shoving. Melee in general is typically unreliable, whereas swinging at a common at point blank doesn't even register. Hell, bullets in general don't register a lot of times, and I assure you it's not a you can't aim issue. If you think I can't aim, boy have I got news for you.
It's down. Kill.
Don't shoot that
Little pawn shopping. Under. Got it. Got it.
But really, both me and a zombie could be sitting perfectly still with my crosshair exactly on their body, yet the bullet just goes through them without a reaction. Good luck convincing me Left 4 Dead should be played competitively when you got shit like this happening. There's the ancient bug where special infected can attack you even when they're in a stun animation. In normal cases, this is simply inconvenient. On advanced and expert, this is rage-inducing. I've broken at least 17 monitors because a hunter can still attack me after I've shoved him away. It's no joke, man. You know, the sound effects and soundtrack of Left 4 Dead is one thing, but goddamn, the mixing itself is amateur hour. This is what the Dead Center helicopter noise looks like in Audacity. Look at this shit. It's literally just a solid sound wave. I also want to show you a few more oddities in Left 4 Dead's sound engine that you've never noticed. There's no vertical sound localization in Left 4 Dead 2. In other words, there's no telling when a sound is coming from above or below you. Here's a little experiment. Try to figure out which floor the jockey is on. Did you get it? Yeah, I didn't think so. Clip number 1, the jockey was on the top floor. Clip number 2, the jockey was on the second floor. Clip 3, the jockey was on the bottom floor. And I'm sorry to have to point this out to you like a child, but man, it isn't like the game's gonna point it out to you. Anyways, let's move on to my final hope. There are so many amazing custom campaigns out there for Left 4 Dead 2. Many have left their impressions on me for years, even the quote-unquote bad ones. Of course, the Source engine has that magic that just gives them the gravy, the butter, the nostalgia factor. I wish that many of these campaigns were officially supported so we don't have to rely on salty local hosters with third world internet connection speeds and cracked out modded gameplay, but Valve doesn't want to do that. Instead, they come around only once a decade to feature some subpar campaign created by some random group of people who got lucky enough to have their email read by a Valve employee. Like, the Last Stand campaign? If this weren't officially added to the game, it'd be sitting on game maps with a bunch of 3 out of 5 ratings at most. Like, imagine downloading this campaign and the most you're getting is a 10-minute finale that consists of hiking up and down a mountain to fetch gas cans. And I get it. Left 4 Dead doesn't make Valve any money, etc., etc. That seems to be the root of all problems in gaming, doesn't it? Oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see in Left 4 Dead's anniversary. It's not like we're gonna see it anyway, so dream away, my little baby biscuits. By the way, the campaign I'm playing in this footage is called Infection Overdrive. You should go and play it. That isn't a request. This is Master Gino, signing off.